Mariah, Mariah, they call the wind Mariah. Little paint your wagon there. Well, I broke out my claims guidebook and looked through there, and I found this fabulous spot here. Just magnificent. And I'm sitting on a kind of a rickety bridge up here. I'm not too sure about it. I don't think I'm gonna be doing any bridge jumping today because the river's flooding down there right now. And she's a-boiling down through here. But man, oh man, that's the kind of water it takes to put the gold in the spots where it's hiding at. And you can see this, you know, people ask, well, you know, where do you look for gold? Where do you look for gold? And this is a nice vantage point here where you can take a look down here. You see all that hard rock rolling along down there? That's what they call bedrock. That's the hard, solid rock. And the gold likes to, it's heavy and it likes to work its way down in the cracks and the crevices. And you can see all the cracks and crevices down through there. And that's where it likes to hide, right down on top of that hard, solid bedrock. You can see those boulders down there in the river. You kind of see how there's an eddy going around those boulders. And that's acting like a riffle inside of a sluice box because the gold's traveling and it's looking for something kind of get trapped in behind because the water's pushing it along, and those boulders kind of create a natural trap in the river behind them, and the heavies will drop in there. The lighter stuff keeps washing on down. So that's a good place to set up your dredge or try to do some sniping, and is in behind those boulders out there in the river. You can see one here that's kind of submerged. You wouldn't want to jump off this bridge and land on one like that, but when this water's a lot lower, it's hard to see where a lot of these eddies are at. You can hear it running over here. Ooh, boy, look at it. Look at us blasting through here. You look at that and you think, well, that's like a riffle in a sluice box. But what happens here is you got material that comes down in here, and that's such a current of water flowing through there. It's just pushing it right on out, pushing it right on out. And the only gold that's going to get trapped down in there is just smaller pieces that really gets down and around the bedrock. And a lot of times the bedrock gets worn pretty smooth in these spots because that water action's just wiping it clean. And so those really aren't good places to look for your gold, where you've got these hard rapids like that. But this spot right here, which is hard to see when the water's lower, it's kind of boiling there, it's kind of slower, it's like an eddy kind of coming around in there. That's a good place to look for gold, right in behind that eddy right down in there. When this water goes down, you can get in there and do a little high banking or panning or dredging down in there. Those are really good spots. You can kind of see these boreholes in the rocks where water's doing that same thing, leaving that material in that heavy gold because that bedrock's solid and it's sitting right on top of it. Really good places to look for gold, you know. But what I'm going to try and do, because the river's flowing really high right now, is I'm going to try and find one of these places, like right over here. You can see this little stream of water coming down. And normally, for sometimes years, it don't run water coming down there like that. And I got a little sluice box, and I'm going to try some of these ravines down through here and see if I can find enough water to run inside my sluice box while it's kind of storming right now, and get to some gold that you normally couldn't get to up there while there's water running. And you know, there's gold that's coming off the veins on the hillsides and working its way down here. And at one time the river was up higher. That's why you find these round wash rocks up higher, and that's tertiary stream bed material. And so I'm going to be looking for that stuff, and I'm going to be looking for a place where these little creeks here kind of intersect it down through here. So I'm going to take a jaunt down through there and see if I can find some different kind of gold.